Simple, but everything we do, we try to do a progression. It starts with one, it goes to the next, and then it goes to the next, and we'll show you how it goes together. But every technique in judo or newaza should be sequence. If you get stuck in one position, then we go to the next position. If we're stuck in that position, it progresses to the next one. So every time uke has a reaction, we have an answer to that action. We teach the hold down and we teach the escape. And then we teach the counter to the escape, and then we teach to change to the next hold down. So, for example, a simple keisugatami pin, okay? We teach arm under the armpit, squeeze, we pull up on the gi, take the head, we keep our hand off the mat, okay? We don't leave our hand down, we pull it up onto our knee. My feet are spread between my big toe and my little toe. I make my opponent carry my weight by turning in, and I bury my head. It's how we hold keisugatami, okay? The person that's escaping, we teach them to bridge, turn, roll to escape. That means that he brings his feet in close to my butt. He grabs my belt with his hand. The other hand goes underneath my armpit, okay? He brings his feet in tight. He bridges up over this shoulder, and this is the escape. That's why we keep our hand here. Because if I keep my hand on the floor and he pins my hand, I can't pull my hand out. It's stuck under his head. So he's gonna roll me. Okay, so we teach here. So when he gets ready to go, my hand gets ready to go. And I stop his pin. He takes his right hand, he pushes my elbow past his head, the other way. And at the same time, he pulls his arm hard to the ground. And then he climbs up on his knees and he escapes. This is his best next action. I will teach each of this. He posts. Now, what do? To counter, I have to push in. I have to push with my body in. I have to switch my hands. Hold the gi. I need to switch my hips. Push the pants away. Scoot my hips to the head and hold. We only change our hold down. We only change our hold down if we think our partner is going to escape. If I can hold him and he can't bridge me up, then I don't go. If I feel I'm going to lose it, I post. If I can pull my elbow down and hold, I hold. If he goes past my head, well, I'm going to lose if I don't do something. Push, push, push. Grab, turn, hip, push the hips to the head, and turn in hard. My ribs are against his ribs. Push the outside pant leg, scoot the hips to the head. To be good in newaza, you have to have constant contact with your opponent. You have to have full control of their body all the time. It doesn't matter what technique I'm doing. He needs to feel my weight. If my weight is on my knees, he doesn't feel my weight. He moves fast. If he carries my weight, he's slow. He's much slower. And I need to be able to ride him like a surfboard. Where he feels all the time this pressure, this pressure, this pressure. Doesn't matter what it is. There's pressure through my opponent. Every pin, every hold down, every move, he feels pressure. When he goes that way, I cannot wait until he gets all the way to his stomach. Because now, I can't reach his head. Can't reach his head. So what we teach is, as soon as I start to feel and I sense he's committed to going and he's starting to go, I post. And I go up towards his head more. Now, I can reach his head. Easy. As soon as I reach his head, I have to get to the next position. Because if I sit here, and he goes the other way and comes at me, and goes fast, I'm going to end up on my back. Okay, watch. Outside turn. Go. Outside. Outside. Yes. Okay. Now, I push. If I let go of your arm, which way are you going? Ah, okay. He's out. I can't let go too soon. Bring your arm back. You stay easy, easy. Okay. I push up. soon as I go here, I switch and I go to Yokoshiho. My knee goes up to his butt, my hand grabs his pant leg outside, and I hold Yokoshiho. This side of Yokoshiho, okay? Okay, so let's just forget about what technique we're doing. If I'm in side control, okay, and I sit like this, all my weight's on my, even though I'm trying to put my weight on him, I have, most of my weight is on my knees, because that's what's holding me up. I'd probably say I might have about, what, 20 pounds, 30 pounds of pressure on top of his body. He can move pretty quick. Even though I'm squeezing and holding, I have no weight on him. As soon as I sink my weight into the floor, okay, and I put my knee to his hip like I'm supposed to, and I keep this leg down, I have probably like 60 to 70 pounds of weight going through his chest. It is harder for him to move. All right, so I'm in side Yokoshio. Partner's going to do an inside turn. We call it an inside turn. Not a through the head turn, an inside turn. Try. Now as I'm about to lose this, my hand goes from here, I push with my feet, I keep chest contact, and I switch. And when I switch, I keep my head down, and because his head's on that side, I bury my face here, hips are nice and low, weight is on my opponent, and I finish with my toes in the mat. My goal is to get on top. When we do newaza, my goal from down here is to get on top of him. It is never to go like this and defend, because if he is good, he's going to get me. If I just sit here and wait and play defense, he's going to get me. Okay, we say reach. Little kids reach. As soon as they reach, the other guy tucks the arm, squeezes it, and rolls over his shoulder. It's more like a somersault. I'm not going to drop my weight and try to roll sideways because I'm not getting him over sideways. My head doesn't touch the mat. I grab this arm, the other arm tucks in. Grab the arm, tuck. I'm rolling over my shoulder. Head never touches the mat. I anticipate the outside pant leg. I scoop my hips to the top, and I hold Ushiro Keisugatame. When he does an outside turn, I post my hand up, I bring him to his back, I hook, now I let go, knee goes to the hip, inside turn, I finish in Kamishi. For example, you know, if I was the kids were drilling, right? One drill we do is we do double leg breakdown. So both feet go in, we stay behind the arms, we break our opponent flat, we hit a power Nelson, we come around, we hold, we go back. The next time I go through, I do the same technique. He brings his arm in, I keep my arm down, I move his head, I tie up his arm, I pin him. The next time I go through, get up, hook in, come around, partner gets up to his knees. I gotta go to Sankaku from here, lock it up, get to Sankaku, go back. Man, that's only like 20 seconds. But from there, we do reverse Sankaku, we do Jujigatami, we go back to the beginning, we do the breakdown, we do the tie up, we do thread the needle, we do like 6 moves from that position. And when you're moving the whole time, efficiently and quickly, it's tiring. And then he does it for a minute or 2 minutes. And then we do a Jujigatami roll for 2 minutes. And then we do split the legs for 2 minutes. And then we do move after move after move. That training is harder than doing randori. Okay. A couple of points on just the first technique. Okay. When I grab the wrist and I pull it in, I'm actually pulling his wrist and turning his wrist down, okay? When I come around, I'm pushing with my shoulder against his back, and I'm actually like lifting this arm up as I come around. I'm lifting. My knee has to go to the other side of his head. This controls his head. When I get here, I don't sit here because his body is still straight. The more I can get him to go this way, the easier it's going to be to pick up my arm and keep it high. Because I have to keep this arm high. This way. Flat. So when I'm here, I'm going to move his head first. Now the other thing is, this hand goes from here. I want my elbow in the middle of his back, and I want my thumb up. So when I go here, the transition is through and here, right on his back. That's what keeps it tight. Some of you are grabbing this belt like this. Pull your hand up. If you grab this gi, he's not pulling his hand up. The belt's loose. I want you to grab the gi. And notice the position. My knee is right against, some of you girls were doing this drill. Your knee's on the other side of the head, but you don't have any head control. This doesn't do anything. When that person is defending, they're pulling their head up. If my knee is here, he's not pulling his head up. There's nowhere for his head to go. Has to be tight. That's a couple finer points with that. Now, the other thing we teach the children, because sometimes they don't get this. If I can get to here, all I need to do to pin them, and this is very important, like drill lesson for the kids and for like the beginner students, is that if I pull this arm to my chest and I create space, I can hook this arm in tight. And notice what I do with my other knee. I control his head. Control his head. So now, how do I get him to his back? I block his face. I put my chest, I feed this hand all the way through, tight by his armpit. I bring my body in front of his chest, take my hand, and I run him over. Chest contact gets him to his back. Whether I'm here, if I hook his arm and I don't block his face, and I hook his arm, he's going to get out. I just finished like this. What happens next in my dojo? He does an inside turn, I hook, and now we're back to the beginning. We always go back to Kamishu, the best one. Because we teach a specific move. When we get here, we pass the knee, we come around, we catch the head, we flatten ourselves out, we bring our knee up, and we pin them. And we have specific drills and specific counters for every defense that he can give me on how to finish the pin. And we drill this. So for 1 minute, he might fall on his back for a minute, and I have to find this position quickly. He's going to give me 50% resistance. He's going to like try to stop me sometimes. And I'm going to get into position and pin him. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the same thing. But in addition to the uchikomi drills that we do, every randori we do in newaza starts in a move we're trying to perfect. Sometimes we start our randori. I have my judoliiton, hajime, and we do randori from here. And I've got to finish this guy with juji. Once I finish him, I get right behind him, and we keep doing newaza. But I'm starting in split the legs. I'm starting in jujigitami. Sometimes our randori starts in half guard. Hajime. And I've got to learn to fight and fight and fight and push my knee free and get my knee out. But it's always like putting ourselves in a position, and every single one of my athletes can finish from split the legs, can finish from half guard, can finish the jujigitami, can wrist control. We start with wrist control. you have to train your athletes and show them the sequences. And then you have to put them in the position, right? You drill it so it becomes somewhat instinct. Then you have to put them in the position to do randoris in that position. And then when they get stuck, you have to show them, if you get stuck, here's what you need to do next. Or you have to figure it out yourself. You're stuck. You can't stop. And newaza doesn't stop. If we stop, it's mate and it's standing. Right? So we don't stop. We keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. As long as we're moving, there's an opportunity to get the other guy.